Hello everybody. So we got here today, we're going to kind of run we got a Unitree 4D Lidar L2 model, and it's kind of show what it can do. As you can see to the right of there, we're running the SLAM program, and that's what it's detecting right now. So before we go farther, let's kind of go through the rig that it's going to be on. So there's the Lidar on top. As you come down, it's basically sitting on a pole. And right here, you have your connections. So you have a dedicated power connection. You have your serial board, and that's what we're using right here. And you don't need to plug the power cord into here. It plugs in its own dedicated port right here. And then up here, you have your Ethernet connection. Now, the reason I'm not using the Ethernet connection is because the IP address of the LiDAR and my iRobot Create 3 conflict. So I'm going to figure that one out. And then if you go farther down, you have a this is just a transmitter to transmit the video out. Then you have the Z2 right here, and that's for an additional project I'm working on. And then down here at the bottom, what you have is an iRobot Create 3. And it said here it's a Nvidia AGX Orin developer kit. And then, like I say, down here I have a iRobot Create 3, and it's basically just kind of towing this little platform around that I made to stabilize the LiDAR. So the iRobot Create 3 is basically loosely connected to this platform, and just kind of tugs it around. It works out. And then right now I still got I got a power supply. I'm running like a cable or the cord here, because I haven't figured out how much battery I'm going to need to run all this stuff when I get done. So, but other than that, that's the rig. So let's just go up here and go back to the LiDAR. As you can see, it runs much slower than the L1. And another thing too is like it's not wobbling. I mean, you can see kind of how spindly this is. You know, you can jiggle it back and forth with your finger. You know, so it looks like it's pretty stable. And the reason I mounted it upside down is because I wanted to basically get the floor in it. I want to know where the floor is compared to like the furniture. And so that's pretty much that.
Okay, so we're going to start moving it around. And as you can see on the right over here, you can see the original spot, and then as it moves, it moves this axis along with it. It's still scanning, and as it comes down here, it's going to scan all this down here and add it to this. And I'll zoom in closer, and you see it shows the path that it's on. And see, and like you say, this is upside down too. So you can see the floor. The orange marks, that's the floor. So it goes in closer. You can see that. And if you can see the blue path, I haven't figured out how to make that line fatter, but it's there. So when you turn off the cloud register, you can see the line that the path that it followed. You can see it's jerking when it comes to a stop. It kind of jerks back and forth. You can see that. So let's go back out and drive around a little more. And what I'm using is I'm using a PlayStation controller, and that's what I'm driving the iRobot Create 3 with. And by the way, when just another thing too, when I'm running this uh, Rivs program, but I'm also running another one, and that one is actually feeding the information to this one, and I'll show you that later. So as we drive along, we're gonna drive into the kitchen. Kind of messes up a little bit because I can't get I really got to try to get over that threshold there. And so let's go. What are we waiting on? You see, that's why I have this little camera on there, and that's what helps me kind of drive because I'm sitting at my PC right now. So let's get a little closer. can see to the left, I guess to your right, that's a hallway, so it's looking in a hallway now. And then if you go straight forward down, that's heading into the kitchen. So we're going to head into the kitchen. And once we get in the kitchen, we're going to start scanning the kitchen. So that's kind of cool. And you can see the blue line now a little bit better, the path. So now we're scanning the kitchen and we're putting that as part of the map. The map's going to be saved. And that's another thing too. Besides 3D, this is also a 2D Lidar, which is you want to use that option. Much easier to map. Then what are we doing here? So, oh, and you can see like that centerpiece in the center, like right here. That's the couch. That's a couch. That's a table. That's a chair. There's a TV right there. There's a desk right there. I'm sitting right there. The kitchen table's right there. There's like a, I don't know, a banister or something. I don't know. See, and then there's the line, the blue line, the path that I've been driven. So now I got to figure out how to incorporate this into like the marking out the locations so I can when you run the 2D one, that's one's really easy because there's a lot of examples of mapping with 2D and then coming back and have your like your rumba or whatever follow that path. Well, the 3D one is much more difficult because like it's I haven't found a program that you can utilize the 3D map that's saved as your map do to go back on it and follow the path. I know there's a lot of examples of the 2D one. Like I say, and then this one will do 2D. There's a little, you check a little box and it doesn't do 3D, it does 2D. And see, as we're driving, we kind of driving over to into the bathroom, you can see it's moving along to the right there. We're driving into this tiny little hallway. Once we get in there, we'll scan. See, and the door's cracked open to the bedroom, so it's shot in there and it's picking up that. So now we're driving back out. Like I say, and you can see there's our start point, and there's where we're at now. Like I say, like this is the couch, that's the table, that's the TV, there's a recliner chair. So we're gonna see we're driving back. There's my bunny slippers. So here, you gotta kind of excuse me here because I'm trying to do the controller and run the camera, so you can get a look of like how what it is, and how it runs and stuff like that. So sorry about the poor quality, but I can't hold a camera and do a PlayStation controller very well. I probably could have told it just to go look for to go to the charging port because it will go find the charging port. So that's another way I could have sent it back home. So and then we're just like going to turn and boom, we're home. And then so we're going to shut it down. Oh, I'm going to say this. That's ROS 2 launch. This is the one this right here is this program, and this one down here, I'm shutting down the controller. This one right here, this is the ROS rinsing scene like here, and this one's running, and that data is coming from this, and it's being fed into the other one. So that's where it's getting its data from. So now you don't have to. You can have this run and not visualize it, but I turned the visualization on just because that looked cool. And you can see over here there's the path. since we haven't, we're not in there. Oh, and so this is the program that I'm using to do the slam. It's the Point Leo Ross 2, and I did have to make some modifications to the laser mapping file in there to kind of get it to work. And then this is works on Ubuntu 22.04 and Humble. That's what I was looking for. The other one, the examples from uh, Unitree, they use like an older version of ROS, so and it wasn't compatible with my iRobot Create 3. And now we're going to so this is another thing too is there's the new lidar makes noise, and I've had to make a modification to the this launch program to get it to like not jump around so much. And this is right here. This was at 1, and now I set it to like 2.2. You could probably go up a tiny smidge bit higher, but I tried to do a balance of like, because when you go higher, it kind of filters out some of the data. So, and then let's see. So there it is, and then we're going to save it so we can bring up the saved maps. I mean, I like this lidar. It's if you there's another program that uses that you can do it in Windows, and if you use that program, that shows just how crisp it is compared to the L1. So, and then here's the maps that it was saved. Now, I don't know how to utilize these types of maps as the waypoints finder, so I can tell it to go here, go here, and go here, so I can use it to say it was here and here and here as waypoints. I haven't figured that one out. I know with the 2D one, the waypoints program is really easy because there's a lot of examples of that. This one, I really haven't found examples. And here's a nice, this looks pretty nice. Like I say, there's the couch, there's a table, there's a easy chair. There's a cabinet, curio cabinet. There's another chair back here. There's like a table right here. And there's the kitchen. The kitchen table's right there. And you can see the cabinets. And there's the dishwasher. So, it looks pretty good. And you can see like the little items in the cab on the cabinet. And then like I'm sitting right over here. You can see the items on the table. And then when it captured the kitchen too, when it saved the map, it made sure it did the kitchen. So, like I say, I've got to figure out how to be able to do waypoints in this map, you know. So if anybody knows how to do that, that'd be awesome. My goal is to put a robot arm on my little rum